Good day. This week's question of the week comes from me, from a couple friends, and it was based off an article in BJJ Eastern Europe, which is, as my fellow black belt Tony will point out, it's like the National Enquirer for the Jiu-Jitsu community. If you read an article in there, it's going to be scandalous and questionable of truth, but they go for the clicks. And I understand it. That's social media today. And so I got forwarded the article and I'm like, oh, do I really want to click on this link? It's just like, I'm not a fan of it. But this week's question of the week is, who deserves to be called a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champ? And that was the gist of the article. They had interviewed one black belt, Keenan Cornelius, who said it's only people that won their divisions in the IBJJF World Championship should be called world champs in the adult divisions, not the masters. And then Kron Gracie piped in. He thinks it should only be the adult black belt divisions in the IBJJF World Championships in gi, and that the no gi would not count as who the world champions are. And my thoughts on it is narcissism is a problem in our community. It's like, are we not getting enough attention? Or back in my day, we used to call them Debbie Downers. Like, don't be such a Debbie Downer. Like, be happy for people. But instead, it's like, no. Like, my accomplishment is so much better than yours. You don't deserve to be in the same phrase of what I did. Like, it's so much better. It's like, really? Do we need that much of attention? Like, can we just not be happy for people in the jiu-jitsu community? Like, for me, my standard, like, I got friends, say here in town, Mike and Emma, they both won, I know, the purple and blue belt IBJJF Master Worlds. They won their division in that. And every time I see them, I'm like, hey, the world champs are in the house. So I'm happy for them. I got another friend, Stephanie. She's coming in a couple months to train with us, visiting from Mississippi. And I believe Stephanie, she's a black belt now. She has won the Master Worlds at every belt, blue, purple, brown, black. And when I see Stephanie, I'm going to be like, hey, the world champ's in the house. Because I'm happy for her. I'm happy for my friends. I'm happy for anybody that accomplishes something. I got a friend that, 72 years old, won the Master 7 black belt Master World Championships. And you know what? Was the 72-year-old as good as the 20-year-old who won the world championship in that black belt division? No, but the 72-year-old is winning at life. The 20-year-old, we'll see what his or her story is 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now. 70-year-old, man, that person's winning at life. He's still stepping on here. She's still stepping on the mats, competing. I got mad respect for him. I'll be like, hey, world champion. Same thing when somebody wins the Pans. You're like, well, I'm like, Pan American champion. Do I care if they won it in the blue belt division, Master 2, or purple belt adult division, or black belt Master 7 division? No, I'm happy for them. So, and I see this, and it's like, there's a number of organizations, whether it's the IBJJF, NAGA, SJJIF, AGF, Jiu-Jitsu World League, they hold world championships. What's the most prestigious? The IBJJF. But if I have a friend, or I know somebody that won the worlds at NAGA or the SJJIF, be like, hey, world champion. Because I'm happy for them. Like, I don't need to technically be correct. I don't need to down what they've accomplished. They did something I didn't. Like, there's one of the instructors in town, like, he'll pose for pictures with all of his NAGA, look like world championship wrestling belts, And I think it looks really freaking cool. And it's like, do I feel the need to point out like, well, that's not the highest level, you know, like there's, no, I'm happy for him and all his belts out. You're like, good for him. Like, there's no reason to tear people down or belittle their accomplishments. I mean, we all know, you know, who the most successful jiu-jitsu practitioners are. But to be honest with you, like, they just had the World Championships out in California in May. It's always late May, early June. And I couldn't tell you one person that won their black belt division. Like, I don't really track it. It's just not a big thing for me. I know for some people it's like, oh, this means a lot. And I know there's a lot of hard work that goes into winning it, and I admire those people that do. But I don't spend my time tracking it. And if somebody's like, hey, you know, Joe just won the Worlds, I'm like, man, I'm happy for Joe. Congratulations, you know. And yeah, you see it in all different levels. Like, I remember even like when BJ Penn, it was amazing that he had received his jiu-jitsu black belt in 4 years, and then he went to the World Championships and he won his division. I was like, man, this dude's phenomenal. This is great. But then you heard all the Debbie Downers and the narcissists come out. Oh, well, you know, a lot of the best people didn't show up that year, you know, for the tournament. You know, his accomplishment wasn't really that great. It's like, bro, why you gotta be the Debbie Downer? Like, be happy for him. Like, he did something incredible. You know, like, or just like, you know, a lot of times when somebody wins the Worlds now, they're like, oh, but that's because so-and-so stopped competing in the jiu-jitsu tournaments and has moved up for the MMA. It's like, bro, don't be such a narcissist. Just be happy for people. So that's my answer to this week's question of the week. Who do I consider world champions? Whoever wins is good. I mean, if you're saying like, who technically is the best in the world? Well, that would, for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, that would be whoever wins the black belt adult division, IBJJF, or ADCC absolute division. So not just your weight class, you know, the featherweight or lightweight, but no, the black belt that wins the absolute. He or she is that year, I would say, the best in the world. But I'm happy for everybody that wins it, and I'm going to cheer them on. I'm going to give them their congratulations, and I'm not going to be some technical, well, you know, technically it's not as impressive as so-and-so's accomplishment. Man, I'm happy for you that you did it. So I will congratulate you, and that's my answer to this week's question of the week. And avoid BJJ Eastern Europe. My gosh, that's a horrible, horrible, horrible articles. Not a fan. All right, got a question for next week. Feel free to fire below. Any comments or insights you have on this topic, feel free to share. You don't have to agree with me. You can disagree with me. You don't even have to say like, oh, respectfully. In fact, it used to be a joke in the military. You could say respectfully and then say something really foul to each other. It's like, no, you can't do that. But you don't have to say respectfully, I disagree with you. It's like, state your case. If you don't agree with me, fine. Disagree. All right, till next week. Ciao.